Hello, 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 COP. Good evening and welcome to our online evening service. What a great thing that we can be together in this way. God bless you for joining us. Thank you for putting God first, for seeking first His kingdom and His righteousness. And you know what's next? All these things shall be added unto you because you've sought first the Lord. We always open our evening service with Psalm 91. So let's read it. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. For he will deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and buckler. You will not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in darkness, nor the destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only look with your eyes and see the recompense of the wicked, because you have made the Lord your dwelling place, the Most High, who is my refuge. No evil shall be allowed to befall you, no plague come near your tent. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. On their hands they will bear you up, lest you strike your foot against a stone. You will tread on the lion and the adder, the young lion and the serpent you will trample underfoot. Because he holds fast to me in love, I will deliver him. I will protect him because he knows my name. When he calls to me, I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will rescue him and honor him. With long life, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Amen. For our praise moment today, we're going to look at Psalm 126. Psalm 126 is one of those songs of ascent, worship on the way to worship. And this one starts off in the NIV, it says, when the Lord brought back the captives to Zion. The ESV says, when he restored our fortunes. We were like men who dreamed. Our mouths were filled with laughter, our tongues with songs of joy. Then it was said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us. And we are filled with joy. Restore our fortunes, O Lord, like streams in the Negev. Those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. He who goes out weeping, carrying seed to sow, will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with him. You know, we could actually spend quite a bit of time just on this psalm, but let's just talk about it for just a moment. God restores our fortunes. It says it twice in the same psalm. God restores our fortunes. Now, here's the question. Do you think that God restores the fortunes of, oh yeah, that guy over there, oh, that sister over there, that brother over there, that pastor, he's a pastor. That person, he's a very good person. Or do you really believe that God restores your fortunes? Everything you have lost, God restores. Can you receive this verse, this psalm? Can you receive it for yourself? Say, yes, Lord, you restore my fortunes. God, this is your promise to me and to my family. And when God restores the fortunes of your family, your fortune, what does it say? Our mouths were filled with laughter. Not our mouths were filled with coughing. Our mouths were filled with medicines. Our mouths were filled with laughter and our tongues with songs of joy. 3 times in this very short psalm, it says that we will be singing songs of joy. Songs of joy because God restores us. Not just, yes, God is good to that person down the street, but God is good to me and my family. You need to accept that and hold on to it and believe it. This is for you. God restores my fortunes. God blesses me. God blesses my family, and my tongue will be filled with songs of joy. My mouth will be filled with laughter. And it says, when the people see this, they will say, the Lord has done great things for them. When people see your joy in the Lord, when people see God doing wonderful things for you, not the other guy, but for you, people will say, wow, God has done great things for that person. Yes, God has done great things for us. Definitely. And we are filled with joy. And it says that he restores our fortunes like streams in the Negev. One thing we know about streams in the Negev, that's the southern desert area of Israel. It's a desert. They don't normally have streams flowing all over the place in the Negev. What happens though is when it's rainy season and it starts to rain, it rains up in Jerusalem and that water begins to flow down the mountainside and into the desert. And suddenly, there's not only just streams, there are flash floods. The flooding, the streams, the rivers that will come pouring in the Negev, they're sudden, they're unexpected, they're powerful, they're full of life-giving water that will water the desert for a little while and let little things begin to grow in the desert. Yes, God will do that. He will restore your fortunes, and he will do it in such a sudden, unexpected, powerful, life-giving way that everybody around you will say, wow, look at that. Your fortunes are being restored. God has been good to you. So let the Lord fill your mouth with laughter. Receive these verses. Receive it for yourself, not for some other guy. Sometimes we know ourselves too well. We think someone's more worthy than us. You are worthy by the blood of Jesus Christ, and God will restore your fortunes and fill your mouth with laughter and songs of joy. He will make you a testimony among your relatives and in your neighborhood. He will do this for you. So receive it right now. Even as we go and turn our hearts to worship the Lord, you just turn your heart to God and receive every blessing from his gracious hand right now. Amen. Let's worship God.
You are the Holy One. we will praise the name. Sing it one more time. Praise the name of the one who reigns forever. Still the same, we will praise the name. Jesus, name above all names, the one who reigns forever. Still the same, we will praise the name. Oh yeah. No other name that's higher, no other name that's stronger, no other name. Forever I will praise the name. No other name can heal us, no other name can free us, no other name so precious. Let's praise the name. There is no other name but praise the name above. Lift up your hands. God has been good to you. Still the same, we will praise the name. Jesus, name above all names, the one who reigns forever. Still the same, we will praise the name. There's no other name that's higher, no other name that's stronger, no other name. Forever, I will praise the name. No other name can heal us, can free us, no other name so precious. Let's praise the every nation, we proclaim your name. Every nation, oh creation, we proclaim your name. Every nation. Sweeter name, no other name that's higher, no other name that's stronger, no other name. Forever I will praise the name. No other name can heal us, no other name can free us, so precious. Let's praise the name. No other name that's higher, no other name that's stronger, no other name. Forever I will praise the name. No other name can heal us, no other name can free us, no other name so precious. Let's praise the
Good evening, COP. I am Pastor Mark, and thank you for this awesome opportunity for me to be able to share the Word of God to your families and to your young people. So if you have any questions for tonight's teaching or even last night or last Friday, please do write it down in our comment section down below. For on Thursday, we will be having a panel to answer all your questions. So please do open your Bibles with me to Daniel chapter 1, starting with verse 8. But Daniel was determined not to defile himself by eating the food and wine given to them by the king. He asked the chief of staff for permission not to eat these unacceptable foods. Now God had given the chief of staff both respect and affection for Daniel. But he responded, I am afraid, my lord the king, who has ordered that you eat this food and wine. If you become pale and thin compared to the other youths your age, I am afraid the king will have me beheaded. Daniel spoke with the attendant who had been appointed by the chief of staff to look after Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Please test us for 10 days on a diet of vegetable and water. Daniel said, and at the end of 10 days, see how we look compared to the other young men who are eating the king's food. Then make your decision in light of what you see. The attendant agreed to Daniel's suggestion and tested them for 10 days. At the end of 10 days, Daniel and his 3 friends looked healthier and better nourished than the other young men who had been eating the food assigned by the king. So after that, the attendant fed them only vegetables instead of the food and wine provided for the others. Verse 17, God gave these 4 young men an unusual aptitude for understanding every aspect of literature and wisdom. And God gave Daniel the special ability to interpret the meanings of visions and dreams. When the training period ordered by the king was completed, the chief of staff brought all the young men to King Nebuchadnezzar. The king talked with them, and no one impressed him as much as Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. So they entered the royal service. Whenever the king consulted them in any matter requiring wisdom and balanced judgment, he found them 10 times more capable than any of the magicians and enchanters in his entire kingdom. Wow. So young people, you being in high school, being in college, it is a time of your training. What will be the outcome of your training? For Daniel and his friends, they got a job after, and they were found out to be 10 times more capable or better than anyone else. Wow. So God gave them the ability to do that. Why? Because they have the resolve not to defile themselves. They are determined not to defile themselves. They were determined to please God. Wow. 1 Thessalonians 5:21, but examine everything carefully, hold fast to that which is good. So they examined the food that they're about to eat and made a choice, made a decision. We need to please God. We're not going to eat this. Same thing in our lives, in our entertainment choices. We have to examine it carefully and say that, well, should this please God? Examine it carefully and hold fast to that which is good. Not just because something is in the trend or it is the pattern, you should be doing it. Or my friends are playing it, so I should play it. I want to be in. Romans 12 verse 2. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good, pleasing, and perfect. Proverbs 22 verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So I would say Daniel and his friends did not depart to the teachings that they have learned when they were young. Things that we learned in kids' church, preteens, Destiny, and SNL. Even if we grow older, we still need to hold on to those truths. It doesn't mean that you're older, you're graduated from those truths or those principles that you've learned. Young people, I know you're living in unfair times right now. You can't go out. It's so hard. You've been doing everything online. Daniel and his friends had a hard time too. They're not from Babylon. They were exiled. But circumstances should not stop us from pleasing the Lord or making decision that pleases the Lord. The choices you make, the movies you watch, the games you play, who you subscribe to, the people you follow, should all be pleasing to the Lord. 1 Corinthians 10:23, everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible, but not everything is constructive. So, what you are doing, what benefit are you receiving from that? Matthew 16, verse 26, for what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and forfeits his soul? Or what shall a man give in return for his soul? Yes, you can play your games all night. You can play Dota, League of Legends, Mobile Legends. Those things are quite same. Those have demons. Those have magic, witchcraft. And we all know God detests those things. There are demons and you're playing with demons. And we know that you or we are a friend of God. If you play with demons, are we showing that we are a friend of God? Or you can watch K-dramas, Netflix series, animes all night, all day. But what benefit will it give you? Will it help you finish your studies, finish your homeworks, your projects, help you review for your exams, prepare you for your college? Will being mythical glory rank get you closer to your goal? Being able to win matches in COD, get the gun that you want, be legendary, help you graduate on time? Examine what you are doing. Are you holding on to that which is good? 1 Corinthians 10:23. Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible, but not everything is constructive. Is that what you're doing constructive? The Greek word is oikodomeo, which means to be a house builder, construct, confirm, build, edify, embolden. So your actions or things that you allow in your life builds something in your life. It's like you're hiring someone or allowing someone or allowing that action to build something in your life. So when you go online, you watch YouTube videos, prank videos, game streams, you follow people on IG, Twitter. If it's not building you up towards the future that God has for you, something else is being built up in your heart or in your life. And it can be little by little. It's like, I remember when we were in SNL, we have director's cut. It's like watching a movie that has dog poop in it. It might be little, still you wouldn't want to eat a cookie with a little dog poop in it. Right? Well, it doesn't matter how small the negative content is. It still grows in you. It's still a seed that grows in your heart. And it's being built up in you, little by little. As you watch, little by little, it grows in you. Something is being built up in you. So what do you allow yourself to look at? When you're playing your games, you're looking so intently. You're playing COD, you want to kill. You want to kill your playmate. What is being built up in your heart? When you're watching anime, you're looking so intently, or you're watching that TV series or movie. You're watching them intently. And what is happening, what you're seeing is being built in your heart. You're browsing on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and hopefully not TikTok. Something is being built in you. What do you allow yourself to be built? Sometimes people think, I am mature enough. I can handle this. Yeah, you can be macho all you want. But things that you allow to see is being built in your heart. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are. 2 Corinthians 3 verse 12 to 14. Now, if anyone builds on the foundation with gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, straw, each one's work will become manifest, for the day will disclose it, because it will be revealed by fire, and the fire will test what sort of work each one has done. Someday it will become manifest in your life, what you're building on. It doesn't matter if it's gold, silver, precious stones, wood, or hay, or straw. So what you are feeding your eyes with, it will be built in your life, in your heart. So remember, if it's bad for you when you are young, it's still bad for you when you're older or you're mature enough, as you say. It's like a cigarette. You don't give a child a cigarette. Why? Because it's dangerous for their health. Why? If you grow up, is it not dangerous for your health? It still is, right? Same thing with the entertainment choice that we make. It still matters. It still can harm us. Luke 11:34 to 36. Your eye is the lamp of your body. When your eye is healthy, your whole body is full of light. But when it is bad, your body is full of darkness. Therefore, be careful lest the light in you become darkness. If then your whole body is full of light, having no part dark, it will be wholly bright, as when a lamp with its rays gives you light. So something happens to your body, both inside and out, depending on what you see or what you allow yourself to look at. There's a science of it. But remember the Conquer series? Watching pornography, seeing pornography, changes the topography of your brain. You can see the picture now. It's even worse than a drugs or a drug addict. So remember the song, "Be careful, little eyes, what you see." It's not just for kids. You need to stop looking at those things in your life. Sometimes when you go to the internet, there are a lot of dangers in the internet. Your browser. I think when you browse, there are a lot of ads that you can see. And sometimes those ads, or most of the times those advertisements, are pornographic or lewd. Especially when you're looking for anime, free website for anime. What do? Download ad block. Remove those ads. Remove something that will allow your eyes to see those negative things. Remove those things. Install an internet security on your computer. Protect yourselves from those things. Now, you start doing what you're doing because you see. You keep on doing what you're doing because still you see. You keep on seeing. Let's look at the example of Jesus. John 5:19. So Jesus said to them, "Truly, truly, I say to you, the Son can do nothing on his own accord, but only what he sees the Father doing. For whatever the Father does, that the Son does likewise." Wow, I like this. So we see Jesus doing the work of God because he sees the Father doing it. So we start doing things because we see. We see people do it. We see our friends do it. We see our parents do it. Can either be a negative thing or a positive thing. See them doing a wrong thing. Kids will imitate it. We see someone doing the right thing, we imitate it. I remember I wanted to be in the ministry because I saw someone in the ministry. We keep on seeing. All right, so we start doing things because we see people doing it, and we keep on doing it because we keep on seeing. We're watching streams of gamers. You're watching streams, joining streams, even spend all night streaming because you want the streamer to give you something or expecting something. So you keep on doing it because you keep on seeing it. I would say if you want to be ministry involved, if you want to do the will of God, the works of God, Look at Jesus. People are not in the ministry or not doing the work of God because they're too busy looking at other things. They're busy playing. They're busy watching. They're busy doing what they want, wanting to get rich. So if you want to be like Christ, you need to keep looking at Jesus. If you want to do what the Father is doing, keep on looking at Jesus. Yes, Jesus was busy doing the will of God because he keeps his eyes focused on what the Father is doing. Now, Proverbs 4:25-26, let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you. Ponder the path of your feet, then all your ways will be sure. Do not swerve to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil. Remember that you have a goal in life. To graduate, maybe to become a doctor, to become an engineer, a successful businessman, an architect. Is the thing you are doing building you up or preparing you closer to your goal? If what you're doing is not building you up, it is probably stalling you, stopping you, or even worse, pulling you backwards. Hebrews 12 verse 1. Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a huge crowd of witnesses to the life of faith, let us strip off every weight that slows us down, especially the sin that so easily trips us up, and let us run with endurance the race God has set before us. The Lord has set a race for you, and that is your goal. And you're preparing for that goal. You're training for that goal. You know what? It's so hard to run the race if you have so much baggage with you. You can run the race quicker, more efficient when you strip off the excess baggage. It can be spending too much time in social media, playing too much, watching Netflix every day, watching anime, and so on. But you need to remove those things so that you can run the race better. One person said to me, Pastor, I don't watch Netflix. In a span of 1 to 2 hours of that time of a movie, I already done a lot of things. I finished my homework and even have time for ideas. Maybe if I'm done with everything, I can spend some time for myself. You can remove distractions from your life. Remember, something is being built in you that slows you down. Now, removing sin. Sin easily trips us up. Stop watching pornography. Stop watching those TV series, those movies that has a lot of negative content. Stop watching streams that is full of bad words. Stop looking at photos of girls or guys in Instagram. Stop watching TikTok videos. Those things can delay you, can stop you, they can trip you up. It easily can trip you up. Imagine an NBA team. If their key player trips up, everybody becomes so nervous, especially if it's in the playoffs, because they can lose their chance of winning a championship if they lose their key players. Just because of a slip up, of a trip, being tripped, it can cause an accident. So sin can cause you to be delayed, or even worse, lose your chance to reach your goal. Now, 1 Corinthians 6 verse 12, you say I am allowed to do anything, but not everything is good for you. And even though I am allowed to do anything, I must not become a slave to anything. If you can't stop playing, it's taking time away from what is important, like studying, ministry, devotions. Then you're addicted. you are not in control. What you're doing is in control. Call of Duty is now in control. Mobile Legend is now in control. Netflix is now in control. Your anime is now in control. You become a slave to it. You're late to pass your assignment, your projects. Why? Because you're too busy playing. Your game is calling you. You have to play me. You have to play me. Or you have to watch me. You have to watch me. You're spending too much time. What happens is you're not in control. You're waking up late for class or late for appointments. Why? Because you're spending too much time. Again, now, where does your money go? You're so addicted. Now your money goes to those things. Your money goes to your games. I know someone who spent his hard-earned money just to buy or to win a lottery ticket for a gun in Call of Duty. Wow. And some people are spending much money for skins in ML. What will it profit you? You just have to get it. Well, Matthew 6:21, wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will be also. So where does your money go to? There is an excuse right now for playing. They say you can earn for playing. Actually, they say, well, I just can sell those items. Yes, but think about this. Selling in-game items, which is not tangible, not really an asset, and it's not really gonna build someone else's future. Are you really okay to gain money for feeding someone else's addiction? Or you're a streamer, you're a game streamer. Are you really okay receiving stars because you're feeding someone else's addiction? Romans 14:13. Therefore, let us not pass judgment on one another any longer, but rather decide never to put a stumbling block or hindrance in the way of a brother. Luke 17 verse 1. One day, Jesus said to his disciples, there will always be temptations to sin, but what sorrow awaits the person who does the tempting. Instead, let's find out how to build each other up. Yes, enjoy your time with your friends. Consider how to stir up one another to good works. Hebrews 10:24-25. Let us consider how to stir up one another to love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another all the more as you see the day drawing near. Encourage one another. Attend SNL. Encourage one another. Attend the online service. Why not do a watch party for the online service? Ask each other about the services. Ask each other what you've learned from your devotions. Encourage them to watch Destined or AIM. I remember my mom when I was young. Every Sunday, I wake up at 5 a.m. Why? Because I want to play my PlayStation. And at 7, she will remind me it's time to take a bath. 7:30, it's time to take a bath. And then I'll say, no, I don't want to. That was time when I was in elementary. And then she will scold me and she will really get mad at me. And she will tell me to get the walis tambo. And I'll say, no, I don't want to. And then she'll no, get it. Then I'll get it. And then I'm planning to run away. I was quite a runner before. But then, my mom's hand, I think it's the fastest or the quickest hand ever. She will whack my butt. Boom. And I will cry. Then she'll tell me, go take a bath. And then we're gonna go to church. Before, I was so mad at my mom that time. But then I realized my mom is doing what's best for me. She's stirring me up. She wants me to be in God's house, wanting me to learn to seek first the kingdom of God. And I'm forever grateful for that. For that swacking. All right. There is a game actually where you can earn while playing, they say. Yes, you can earn, but the question is, does it really build up your future? Does playing that game give you skills and abilities to build you up towards your goal in life, towards who you're going to be in the future? I would say it's temporary. 2 Corinthians 4:18. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Remember what is your purpose. You're studying for a purpose. You're training yourself. You're preparing yourself towards the vast future that you have. So make decisions revolving towards the goal, the purpose that God has given you. Proverbs 4:25-26, let your eyes look directly forward. Your gaze be straight before you. Ponder the path of your feet, then all your ways will be sure. Do not swerve to the right or to the left. Turn your foot away from evil. So let your eyes look straight ahead. Keep your focus. If you have your focus, you're not looking to the left or to the right, it's easy to make decision. If you're focused towards your goal, I need to graduate. I need to pass my requirements on time. If you're not looking to the left or to the right, it's easy to say, I need to finish this. I don't need to do that. I'm going to finish this. When you know where you're going, keep your eyes on the goal. You'll make good decision. Your path will be sure. Proverbs 17:24. Sensible people keep their eyes glued on wisdom, but a fool's eyes wander to the ends of the earth. Young people, keep your eyes glued on wisdom. Wisdom is the application of knowledge, the knowledge that you've learned. You have the knowledge of God's will, that you'll be the head and not the tail, that you'll be the top and never at the bottom, that you'll be more than conquerors in Christ, that you'll be mighty in the land. What are you going to do with that knowledge of God's will? Keep your eyes glued on it and make your decisions revolving around those things. Amen. Now, there are people who are like fools who are distracted. Their eyes are wandering. Yeah, the Bible describes them as fools. Those who wander, they can't keep their focus. Instead of finishing their homeworks, they will do first playing with their friends. Their friends will call them, we're gonna play COD. Go online. Turn on your Discord. Go online. No. Wow, I don't want to be called a fool. Keep your eyes glued on wisdom. Now, God gave Daniel and his friends the ability to understand every aspect of learning and wisdom. It means that they kept on studying. It says God gave these 4 young men an unusual aptitude. So they have the ability to learn. So they need to keep on studying. They need to keep on learning. They need to keep on investing time to study, to be better. Yes, God will give you wisdom. You need to train yourself. Everything you learned, you need not to depart from it. You do not grow out of the good things you've learned, the principles you've learned. If you've learned in the past, this is how you should do it, still do it that way. If you learned not to watch this kind of videos, not to play this kind of games, don't do it. If when you're young, you were told not to wear skimpy attire, even when you're old, don't wear skimpy attire. Again, Proverbs 22 verse 6, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Don't depart from the teachings you've learned. Have the resolve to always please the Lord. Yes, you can be better. You can be the top and never at the bottom. You can be mighty in the land because you are determined. You have the resolve to please God. you're making the right choices. You need to be careful what you see because you become what you see. Be careful what you allow yourself to keep on seeing because those things are being built up in your lives. Again, you need to examine everything carefully and hold on to which is good. Now, Psalm 90 verse 12, so teach us to number our days that we may gain or get a heart of wisdom. I'll say always do something that benefits you, that really benefits you, and as well the people around you. You have a great future, and you need to keep on looking at Jesus, doing the will of God. And after all this, having all the resolve, God giving you the ability, you will achieve your goal, you will achieve your purpose, and you'll be 10 times better than anyone else. You can really be better than anyone else. So again, if you have any questions for tonight's teaching, last night and last Friday, please do type it down in our comment section below, or you can reach out to any of your pastors as well. Thank you for your time this evening. Remember tomorrow, 5:45, Daniel's Prayer, 6 a.m., Daily Devotions with Pastor Sumrall. God bless.
Thank you for going online for tonight's evening service. We hope that you will join Pastors David and Beverley Sumrall of the Cathedral of Praise Manila again tomorrow at 7 p.m. You may also join our daily devotions with Pastor David E. Sumrall every Monday to Saturday at 6 a.m. Our drive-in service is available for booking and happens every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. and Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. For more information and updates, visit us on facebook.com/cop.manila.